So, good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, I'm Cynthia Scanlon, as you know, but for the podcast, I like to introduce myself, and this is our newest episode on Good Grief Podcasting Venue. And I'm really excited to have an opportunity to talk to you today. And I'd like to just give a little bit of information to the people out there that you were one of my clients for many months, and part of what flipped the whole script, which was amazing, and being part of my very first class, being my very first counselor to do the work, being my very first counselor that's getting the book as it's being made. And I'm certainly very, very privileged and happy to have you a part of all of that. So I'd like to just dive in and say, when you first came or heard about the work, what drove you to do the grief work?
Wow. Well, it's so funny. I think everybody wants to feel good in their own skin, right?
Yep.
But I was face planning
Mhm.
and there was all of these remnants of uh, multiple situations that were coming up all at once. And I couldn't get a handle on it.
Yeah.
And it was coming out emotionally, crying all the time,
Mm.
uncontrollable. Like, I don't know why I'm crying.
Yeah.
And trauma can cause this. It can cause all this to start to erupt and surface, and um, it did. It absolutely did. So that's what drove me, is because I couldn't function, and I'm not used to not functioning.
Yeah. We've been one of those like where we function, 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 and then all of a sudden it all hits and then the train stops and you're like, someone needs to get out there and figure out what's going on with my caboose. Right?
Yes, yes,
Something's not
yes.
moving forward.
I know, I know.
Awesome.
So yeah,
So
and
I, I'm going to name a few things, but I love the idea because I think some grief therapy does, you know, maybe a more simplistic view of like attacking the grief and finding different ways. Whereas I feel like the work that we've all put together is a little more complex and ask what helped you. Because I know we don't just have timelines, we have, you know, belief trees, which is based on NLP. We use gratitudes, acknowledgements. There's so many tools. For you, what were some of the things that really stood out and supported you to move forward?
great question. Um, I believe that the timelines are the core of the work, definitely.
Yeah.
But we sometimes have to set those aside, and we need a little help. Our body, that body mind connection, it's like, it just like we do this pushback. Like,
Yeah.
I can't go forward. This is too hard. I'm having an issue. And so I remember intentions were huge for
Mhm.
me. Um, I, those were a game changer for me. And being able to know that I had the power to make the decision, and to be able to reframe
Yeah.
what was going on in my head. And I think that really supported me to get back into doing a timeline.
Yeah.
Also, the belief tree, um,
Yeah.
just that visual of that tree and how ill it is and how sick it is and how sad looking it is.
Yeah.
That represents our what we project out, right? And then when you flip the page and there's this beautiful sapling and this healthy seed and beautiful tree, and then you're going to invite someone to sit under that,
Yeah.
and that's you. That's what you bring to the table every day. So that was something that, having a visual also, and then just taking a negative belief that, um, it's like that ticker tape,
Yes.
that that you just see, that all the negativity, you're not good enough, you're worthless, blah blah blah, whatever it is, and then flipping it. That's so powerful,
Yeah.
and that can be done within an hour.
Yeah.
um, and clients can go away like, okay, I know how to do this now.
Yeah.
And maybe something's going on and they need to hush that negative talk.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome. You know,
yeah.
I'd like to add to that too. I'm finding in my practice more that even sometimes before they'll do the history timeline and then have this
Mhm.
like, whoa, like I'm shocked.
Yeah.
And there's some people like it'll take them multiple sessions just to get through that timeline because one particular thing might take the whole, because they've never talked about it before and it's big. And
Yeah.
so what I'm learning is that even before we go to one of those, it's like, maybe we need to build you up a little bit. So working on them to give tools like that or the stretch risk and die or what all the other different tools that we use to help them know like even their core need. So before you do anything, like mine is safety, make sure that, oh, okay, I'm triggering, I must not feel safe. So what do you need to do to make so building them up sometimes even helps because the timelines are definitely this is the hard digging. This is hard.
Yes.
It's like looking at the good, the bad, the ugly, and how to let go of it. So to your point, I think all those tools are so important as part of the whole picture of what we do, which is fantastic.
I absolutely agree. And that right there is a skill, knowing when to set the
Mhm.
timeline aside and figuring out what tool they need. And that's our job.
Yeah,
That's our job.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
and
You were
yeah. I think the having them from very various different angles, because neurolinguistics is amazing. It's very different, but neurosomatics is also very different. And yet they have their own place at their own time. Because that neurosomatics is even like rescuing the child. So the one of the clients that I'm talking about was like, I'd like you to start listening to Healing the Child from Within by Charles Whitman. Again, I know it was from way back, but his stuff is still solid. And it was what a lot of that was based on. So understand what when we start doing this work, we're rescuing. They're not really being left there. So that when your body starts hearing that and building that up, then it's like, okay, now they're like, okay, I get it. Her and I are ready, or
yeah.
me and him are ready to go move forward and kind of tackle this.
It's funny. You made me think of a past client and frantically called me and she had no words. She was like, I can't believe this happened. I don't know how it happened. And I'm like, so finally calming her down and getting to get the story of it. She didn't on her first life timeline, this event didn't hit that. She didn't even
Um,
remember it.
yep.
And she felt as if when it all said and done and we looked into it, we had to do a timeline on this person. But the reason why her mind and her body were like totally just spaced or forgot her, so to speak, as she put it, is because she didn't feel that she was a good enough friend to her. And then she had ended up getting some kind of disease and dying subsequently very quickly.
Oh,
And so it was like a little bit of a blip in her life, maybe 3 months. And um, before that, as we did her timeline, we realized she was a newlywed. She moved. I mean, there were certain things that led to, but all her mind could think of, she was not a good enough friend to this person.
yeah.
And then whenever she remembered her, she's like, how could she not be? She was so part of my life. And it's like it was like her body was not ready
Yep.
to
Absolutely.
even acknowledge that. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until months, I want to say 5 months, possibly into it, that she was even able to just, yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah.
So that's a huge one. So it's like, don't worry when things come up later. We deal with them when they do, when the body's ready.
And like almost applaud your body for that because I know that
Yeah.
was definitely my experience. I think I had done the grief work 8+ months, and she was encouraging me to go become a grief therapist. She's like, "You're amazing at this work." And then all of a sudden, I started having like dreams and then flashes of something that happened with an uncle who was abusive, and it was like, "Wait a minute." What the heck? How did that not? And she's like, well, you have to remember your body and mind and work together to protect you. So now you have all this basis for like healing and knowing like, okay, with the support and the right tools, I can get through this. So now is the right time. And I was like, oh yeah, you know what? Timing is important, right? It's like huge. Because that would not have been a great place for me to start. I don't think that would have been a great place. And my body knew that. I mean, when you squelch something down back there, it's there like you're not ready to really keep this in the focus all the time. So yeah, I agree.
Right.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're in your own practice. You've been working for over 2 years now, and I'd love to know, is there anything like you specialize in or you feel like you focus on, or what do you love about being a grief therapist or any of your favorite work?
Oh my goodness. I think, oh, it's been, I think more than 2 years, but it has gone by so quickly. The experience that I've taken, I learned from those that trust me
Yeah.
to sit across from me on Zoom. So grateful that we're able to work together and they feel that it's a safe place and that's been lovely. Um, I think that one of my favorite things about the work is I have people that find out this is what I do and, they'll make a comment about that. And it's very lovely, kind. And then they ask, isn't that draining?
Mhm.
How do you deal with that all the time? And I was like, no, you don't understand. It's like my clients, when they're done at their hour or their session, they're happy. They feel better. They have this relief that comes like, and that is probably the most gratifying is that they're smiling. They're
Yeah.
smi- and it's hard work. I mean, we're not saying this isn't hard work. I will say this is probably some of the hardest work you'll ever do. It's you meeting you and you're face to face with yourself.
Yeah.
All I am is I'm here to guide you. So
Yeah.
I'm a handhold that the person is doing all the work. And I have the honor of being able to watch it. And it's very powerful. And so I think um, that in a nutshell is, always trying to be in tune, pay attention to all the cues that they give. Um, and they'll come back and say, I didn't catch that. I can't, how did you even know to ask me that or to see
Yeah.
that? It's like that's part of this work. It's like it teaches us um, that grief is not just about a death, it's any loss
Yeah.
that meant something. And it's funny because I remember from my first life history timeline, this kept coming in my head and I'm thinking, this is the stupidest thing. Why do I even want to put this on there? And I did. Well, I had something to say about it. And it was having my purse
Yep.
broken into in my locker when I was a teenager.
Yep.
And, that nobody asked me if they could take my stuff. And
Yeah.
that was, big to me at that time. And there was something sentimental in it too. So having your say and then being able to listen to the clients have their say in their session is so powerful.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to add to that as well. I find, especially when they're doing some really deep, like, especially I think deep psychological abuse or physical abuse or both.
yeah.
I feel like they come away with a little bit off, but they may not like most of them, like you said, at the end of it, they're feeling better. But it's just like this, like deeper grief. Like I've been working with a couple of people dealing with the death of a child, and it's like it's just a little bit off. That being said, getting a text message later, game changer for me. Like, I'm in this class that I would not be in if I had not done this work and blah, blah,
Oh,
blah. Or
right.
I got a text from a client not that long ago that we worked full solid, probably 3 months with tools in between grieving the death of a child and just all that it did, and got her in this great intention and worked on something for a trip. And she texted me from that trip like, ah, oh my God, I had this huge epiphany as to what was the most important thing in my life that you and I've been working on, that I beat myself up, and what it really was, that I was great, that I was got to be there as a mom, and I don't regret a minute of that, and da 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 da. I was a rock star. And I was like, oh my gosh. For
Aw,
me, those are those things where it's like, if you're willing to keep going, you
yeah.
are going to have that where it's like looking in the rearview mirror, and it's like that's exactly what it is. Because there's also an NLP where you're like, put that in the rearview mirror. You keep putting it out in front of your car. How do we get it back in the rearview mirror, and get farther and farther away till it's like, oh, I'd have to drive back around to get that. So I agree with you. That's a very powerful piece. Very powerful piece. Well, I really appreciate your time today. It was so awesome. I know you're doing some great work with people. I always get fantastic feedback, and I look forward to having more, podcasts with you on different things of different groups of things that we'd like to talk about in the future. So I just,
Thank you.
thank you for coming, and I thank everyone for listening. And until the next time you get here, I hope you have a calm heart to guide you. So you have a good day today.